Why are you laughing?
So you got it on.
Okay, so it's counting down now. And then, so this will go live as ever long. Okay, so we're live now. So you can go and share it on your page. I'm going to share it on my page real quick. Hey, guys. We're officially live. People already hopping on. Hey. Okay, so I'm trying to. So you can go and share it on your page. I'm going to share it on my page real quick. Hey, guys. Haha. I'm trying to make it where we don't see this part, but we can see like the questions. It's the only thing I don't like about going live on my laptop. That it's not like it is on. You can see like the questions. Hey, look, see everybody's hopping on.
So you can't see the questions from there?
I'm trying to see them. I'm trying to see what I need to click this in. Video clipping. Oh, here we go. And this is to ask a question. Oh. Event logs. Cross promote to more pages. I don't need to cross promote. Typically, well, you know what? You'll be able to see when they start like talking because it'll be here. Do you see how I just put hey y'all?
Okay.
So
Okay.
You'll start seeing. You'll start seeing all of that. Y'all, please share our live. It's gonna be amazing.
What y'all drinking out there?
Oh Lord, what are y'all drinking? Y'all drinking the fermented? Mama, this is not my fault. Because Jesus turned water into wine before you start. Okay. You'll be able to go back and see it. We're just hopping on early, giving everybody time to come in, share our live, darling. We're going to be talking about the PTSD of relationships.
Me,
so
you already did it? Oh, okay, cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Let's check you out.
Okay, so you shared it. I hope y'all have had a happy Sunday.
You ain't got COVID, do you? Because we're not 6 feet.
To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. If it's your season, sir, you're going to be okay today. You got that?
Hey, y'all. I don't think she got it. She's going to pray about
it. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, sir. So I'm just going to tell you. Have your life together, Shay. Like my mama say. She be fussing. She be like, why you always telling somebody to be absent from the body? Because the people in the cemetery, they living their best life. They ain't worried about COVID. They chilling.
Are you ready to go ahead and
hey, if it's my time, I feel like you don't need to hate. Well, you can't help me, bro. Like if it's my time,
I can make it to time.
See, this is what y'all don't get to see. This is what I'm talking about. When your friends are petty, bro, petty. Please share our live. It's gonna be amazing. No, we do not have the COVID. I prayed about it.
Put your Instagram up there?
I am. I'm sharing it from my personal page. This live. So hey y'all, what church y'all went to today? Look at TK say hey family.
Oh, what's up?
Here, go ahead.
What's up, TK?
She said she drinking cranberry juice.
Already.
Yeah, she on cranberry juice. Me too, in the purple cup. Gotta start praying about it. Yeah. No, I'm actually trying Chardonnay. Y'all know I'm very transparent. I am not. I'm trying to get better with being like this whole wine drinking person or whatever. And start drinking more like authentic, less sugary type wines. And so I decided today that I would try it out. And the Chardonnay is actually not bad at all. So
Man, get on y'all dry red wine or your dry white wine. You'll thank me later.
Now, what do you suggest for the people who don't look like that?
A cab or
Cabernet.
Yeah, Cabernet.
Yes, TK. Purple is royalty hunting. Help the people so they know what their colors mean. So we're gonna be jumping on here in just a second and hopping right in. I'm super, super excited. I always enjoy when I get to go live with like other people. It's always a good time. So I am pretty excited. I think y'all are gonna enjoy seeing this other side of me, other element. There's about 50,000 more where this came from. So now we are live on, I believe this is my Bridge Your Purpose page. I'm about 99% sure it is. And I'm going to go live for my personal page as well. So y'all please share our live. We're going to actually be going live every Sunday at 6, talking about all kind of hot topics.
TK said your face is beat.
Yeah, thank you.
Beat out.
Thank you. I did it myself, darling. See, and my team don't be having no faith in me. But I learned how to do these lashes, child. I learned. And see, when you got full lips, as long as you got a nice lipstick, people don't know if you halfway got a little makeup on or not.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Yeah. That's the accessory. So thank you. So guys, please share our live. Hello, Instagram world. How are y'all doing?
What's up, IG? Let's see what you got.
So, hey y'all. So look, definitely drop our live in somebody's DM tonight because it may bless somebody. I feel that in the spirit for someone, that someone's gonna be blessed. Someone make it free tonight, leave them trash relationships around in 2020. I believe somebody make it free tonight. So I'm super, super, super excited. Hey Nanny. Super excited to be having this open discussion with you guys about the PTSD of relationships. So I'll hop right in at 6:02. So a little bit about how this kind of came about. Are you telling me or you telling?
You can go ahead. I mean, it don't matter. You already got the floor going.
So anyway, how this came about is we were having a discussion, and if you've ever been around me, you know that I believe in throwing people in the water. Like, I believe in it. So like, I'll have an idea or be talking about something, and I'll be like, you know what, we should just do it right now, today, right now. I'm gonna order all stuff.
She don't waste no time. She take out running the 4 flat and the 40.
Look, I said I have vision and execution. And I need people to understand that. Like, if you're working with me, you need to be prepared to work. Like today, right now, if I can get it popping in 30 minutes, we get it popping in 30 minutes. So we actually have talked about you having a podcast and you really launching out into your brand. And for those of you who don't already know Antonio Rutledge, who's from the Port City, he's an amazing person. And you are. And he always has like really good ideas, topics. Look, my sister talking about so true that I be throwing people in the water.
Yeah. No, definitely.
He always has like such good ideas, topics. I enjoy talking to him. I enjoy getting his feedback on things, and it's good to have it's not gender specific or race specific, but it's just so good when a Black man, can hold a good conversation and understands the power of what a queen handles, what a queen goes through, and then also from a very transparent point of what a king goes through. And so anyway, I told him a while back about the podcast I did, and I knew that this would be something he would want to do, blah, blah, blah. And then randomly, he came up with the topic.
Oh, yeah.
The title was yours.
Yeah. So basically how the topic came up, we always talk about like relationships and the downfall of relationships. So lots of times it comes from the disconnect and the different traumas that we experience. We have so many different obstacles we have to jump over in when it comes to the relationship. So the trauma part plays a lot, and we have a revolving cycle of hurt people hurting people.
Correct.
You know, so we trying to get to the bottom of it, and the ultimate goal of the live is to start the reconnection of relationships, so we kind of understand more so why each party is feeling this way, or what are we doing, how we going about things wrong. You know, you need to, number one, like, you got to heal up. You know, you can't choose in your broken season, as you always say. So, you know, and PTSD was perfect because it just applies to so many different aspects of a relationship, you know, because we deal with things from current things and we never deal with them. And then we end up protecting ourselves so hard that we end up hurting the next person.
Correct.
And then it's an ongoing cycle, and we revolving it. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, I'm one of those people, I'm like passionate about people. You know, my purpose is to help people meet their purpose and also to expand it. You know, the cemetery has a lot of great ideas in it. You know, a lot of people die with a lot of great ideas that they never did. And a lot of it has to do with the people and the environment that was around them that didn't help pull it out, you know. And so I pull it out of people. And so here we are with the PTSD relationships. So if you have not downloaded the app, the Purpose app, first of all, I don't know why you ain't downloaded the app, but you need to download the app, the Purpose app. It is for men and women. It is not just for women. It's not just a woman's app. The notification ain't just a woman's app. I think my favorite is Affirming the Kings, though. Like, you know, I love to send out the notifications, and I see you guys' engagement. And so I've gotten so many messages and screenshots of something that may have came through on the app that everybody is super, super excited about, or something that really made someone's day, or really helped to just encourage them. And so the Purpose app, I dropped in the link in our link underneath the PTSD title, the link tree, so you can download the app there. You can also get my book there.
Oh yeah, pub 'em.
So, you know, if you've not gotten Purposeful Pain, I don't even know why you ain't got that. You just need to get it. Get your life together. That's why you're on the live right now. So it's a great, great book. And Intimacy is my latest book, and it is definitely amazing book. And it's not just because I wrote it. Like, it really is amazing. Like, the reviews say it's amazing.
Shameless plug.
So it is a shameless plug, isn't it? So look, if you want to get the books, they're on the link tree as well, in the link. So we're gonna hop right into it. I hope y'all ready. I prayed before, so we gonna let the Lord use me in this best way. So,
all right. So I wanted to share a perspective that a lot of people don't really talk about. And it's the aspect from the male's point of view. And a lot of people feel like, I guess because men ultimately aren't open about their pains or their traumas that they go through, we hide it a lot in most situations. So, you know, everybody think we always good, or, you know, we don't hurt like that. But ultimately, we really do. And a huge thing that I wanted to share is how traumas cause reactions, is how men become players due to their trauma. That's a huge one. Now, don't get it twisted.
I.e. thought. He really trying to say thought.
Yeah, thought, player, you know, it's all the same.
Whatever. That part.
But the thing is, a lot of times, like, I know a lot of guys who in my close circle, you know, have dealt with quite a few women, just as well as myself. But a lot of times it comes from basically having that trauma from a previous situation. My own experience, I was a pretty faithful guy at one point. You know, I was pretty good guy. I was true to my little lady at the time. This was way back in high school, and it basically made a trigger in me. Well, like, I'm talking about, I never had a problem getting a woman. I was like, it was different women always coming. I'm like, no, you know, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna cheat. I got a girlfriend. Like, why would I be cheating? And had a girlfriend.
He was the wet guy.
Yeah, I was wet, but I've always been more mature. I've been very mature for my age, but at the time, it was just like, that's how I felt that it should go, and it really was the way it should go.
Correct.
But as time progressed, that situation didn't play out, and it became a situation where I was cheated on, and then that caused me like, hold on, I'm going about this all wrong. Like my big cousin would take me places in high school, and girls trying to talk to me. I'm like, nah, I got a girlfriend. Like, why you doing that? I'm like, what's the problem? But ultimately, it ended up being a thing where I played into that because it was a guard for me. Because I was traumatized by, I never wanted to feel like that again. So the fact that I never wanted to feel like that again, if I'm in a relationship or I'm dealing with somebody on a serious level, it ended up being, if I felt like you gave me any like just small smidget of you doing something, I'm gonna do me. That's how I protected myself. I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of guys feel that same way. We don't talk about it.
Correct.
And I'm out here and me and my friends have this conversation on a frequent basis. We talked about this quite a lot. And a lot of guys experience the same thing. And just as well as women receive trauma, we do as well. And a lot of times, not all times, but a lot of times, it basically comes from our own experience. I mean, don't get it twisted. That's another subject, but as men, we do have other desires, but that's a whole nother subject we have to save for next week.
Because we only have a month. This month is our month to start this. So we're gonna base this off of you guys' response. And look, definitely make sure to drop your questions. We want to answer them. Let us know what you're thinking. That's my nanny. She said, that's a T right there.
Oh, that's a T.
She's all the way in Maryland, Baltimore. But I think for me, the PTSD trauma, where it really hit home for me was, I came into a relationship after he had got hurt. So I caught the butt effect of after he got hurt. So for me, I was like, 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? Clearly not thinking anything about life, just wanting to enjoy myself, have fun, go to parties. I was away from home in college, living my greatest life, because I'm a PK. So y'all know I didn't live a lot at home.
A PK?
Yes.
What is that?
A preacher's kid.
Oh. I'm like, what?
I'm not telling you, there's no more secret.
Okay, got you.
So, I was sheltered, you know what I'm saying? Never went to, got dressed, went to clubs or anything like that. So when when I got into the second relationship in college, well, I guess you could say really was like my first relationship in college, I came in the season after he got hurt. And so, his life was a lot like what you're saying and describing, where you just doing you know what I'm saying? And you're not thinking about it. And at that time, exactly, Michael, PK stand up. Thank you.
PK stand up.
Yes, we got a whole group, baby. Oh, so what y'all heard about us is not true. But
I don't know about that. It's not actually, hold on. Just to add a little tea on top of what you saying, the girl that first hurt me was a PK.
Oh Lord! Here you go. Now he gonna talk about he had church hurt. Yeah. Baby, don't start. He ain't got no church hurt. Yeah. Don't start.
Look, okay, PK.
Here we go. So yes, but I will say that dealing with, one of the things about trauma is that, and when Antonio and I were kind of really talking about preparing for this live and really just having our own conversation about it, one of the things I told him I wanted to talk about was, how did we get into traumatic situations in the first place? Mm-hmm. For me, I was running from something. I was a broken girl that did not know my value, did not know my worth. I dealt with a lot of body image issues. I was always tall, skinny, all of my life. And so I had a lot of my own personal insecurities. And so I was really wanting to really outrun them. You know what I'm saying? And, when you don't address a thing, it becomes the very thing that kind of consumes your life. And it messes with your vision and your ability to be able to really make good decisions about who God is calling you to be. And so
Somebody talking Letitia Graham said we the worst ones.
We're not the worst ones. We're really not. We're not the worst ones. I'm changing. You know what? I'm changing the scene for PKs. Exactly, sis. Trying to fill a void. And I definitely was. I was trying to fill a void. And feeling that void broke me. You know, it broke a lot of things in me. And so, you know, a lot of times we get into PTSD because we had to first go to the trauma.
Right.
And when you choose, I always say this, when you choose in your broken season, you'll never choose right.
Right.
Ever. And it's important for you to know, especially, let me just get to the queens. It's important for you to know what you carry, because when you know what you carry, when you know what you have stored in you, then you know if you can be of help to somebody. But when you don't know yourself and you don't know what you have stored in you, then you tend to be Kroger's when he really needed Lowe's. You know, he looking for a lawnmower at Kroger on aisle 5.
Watch out now.
You know,
go ahead, preach.
They'll start, sir, but I will preach. But you know, but that's the thing. If you don't know, like, how can I be of help to you if I don't know what I have stored in me? And I didn't know what I had stored in me. And a lot of times the enemy wants you not to know what you have stored, because if you don't know what you have stored, then you never really become productive and you can stay in a cycle. And that's real. That's real. And, you know, I was listening to Sarah Jakes last week, and she said, she made a comment. She said, you know, your spouse should be the person that carries your areas of opportunities. That should be their strength. Mm-hmm. So whatever I'm lacking, you should be the strength in.
Right.
Correct. No, so because we both got the same strength,
we ain't gonna grow. There's no evolution in that.
We stagnant. We're stagnant at best. And a lot of us find ourselves in trauma type situations because of the reasons that we went into it. I always say, when you marry for the wrong reasons, you're divorced for the right ones.
Right.
And so I had to go through that because I didn't know what I carried. And so I just want us to really start spending time with yourself. Like, if you don't know your purpose, then you need to continue to be alone until you find it. That's real tea, because what people are doing, they are in a painful situation, and I guess we'll kind of talk about that too. Of how do you know? Okay, you hurt me. Let me go be a thought. Like what? Who said that? Is that in the book? Is that in Genesis? I'm trying to understand what part.
It just basically
what we learn of that.
Society. That's it, and it's just a situation.
At the barbershop.
At the barbershop, it's a beauty shop, amongst conversations, amongst family. Like, it's a situation where it's a hurt people, and it's a guard. You know what I'm saying? So you want to protect yourself at all costs. The main thing we should start doing is, once we get enough red flags, is get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
But people be staying because they feel like they can, you know, change you. For me, I thought you was going to just change at some point. I was like, well, clearly, you know, I feel like it's like a baby. You don't wear a diaper all your life.
Right.
At some point, you get on the big ball drawers and big girl panties and you move on.
Right.
So I thought, well, maybe that's how it is.
Right. No, for sure.
But had I looked at my past, I'd have realized. I know a lot of people 50 years old still wearing diapers.
Nah, for sure. Maturity isn't an age, it's a mindset. Being a man is a mindset. Being a woman is a mindset. It's all that, you know, I don't care how old you are. I know women that's 35 years old and super immature. And the same, I know men that are 55 years old, way less mature than myself, you know.
I've seen some of them.
Yeah, no, for sure. But what we got to start doing, though, in relationships, people have to pay attention to the red flags.
Yes.
To avoid the trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, it's a situation where we see them, and that, you know, that emotion overrides reality. And then from that point, you stay in it. Correct. Because you're hoping for change. Even though they're not showing the signs of progression, you're hoping for the change because you love that person. Correct. Because you're emotionally attached to that person.
But I think we get married to their potential. Like, talk about that. The trap of marrying the potential. Yeah.
I think potential is good, but it should have a cutoff. You know, like, if you see the potential in a person, great. And I think you should always cling to that. But there should be, you can't go 2 years with potential.
So how long should you go with potential?
I mean, my personal opinion.
How long should you go with potential?
6 months to a year. That's my opinion. 6 months to a year.
You know I could do 6 months. You know what I did during the quarantine? I just started about 4 businesses during the quarantine.
No, for sure.
And that's been, what, 3 weeks, maybe? So 6 months. Sorry, I made my purpose may get stale.
I think that we don't want to be too perfect because we are all flawed and we all have differences and things that are that can be looked at as a flaw to others. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta take into account for that. So I wouldn't somebody off within the first 6 months to a year if I see growth of their potential.
I would cut you off if I will. I'm just be honest. I'm gonna cut you off if I realize that my purpose and yours don't go together.
No, for sure.
And I'm gonna do that in 24 hours.
For sure.
I'm gonna do that during the text message when you text saying "Good morning, beautiful. What you doing?" I'd have cut you off because I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And so if our purposes are not aligning, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm Kroger's and you a gas station, like we don't go together.
The most expensive thing you can spend is time.
Correct. And you can't go to jail for wasting it.
And you can never get it back.
Correct.
So you definitely want to input the right energy and the right time with the right person. I saw a quote that said
it's a long time to be waiting for somebody potential. Facts, and that's why I said early quit it. You know, they don't know. They don't know.
It's situational. You figure it out, but the sooner you figure out, the earlier you can get out for sure. I saw a quote that said, "Nothing wrong with loving the right person too fast, but there's everything wrong with loving the wrong person too long." So, with that being said, like I've been there, and most people have. You input too much time with the wrong person. Like, I don't care if it's kids. I don't care if it's longevity, how long you've been with that person. I don't care if it's the sex. None of that matters if the situation isn't good for you.
Detox. You may need to detox. If it's good that you crazy.
Nah,
that is not of God.
Sure. And everybody gets caught up in that emotional attachment and kids and we've been together this long, but if there's no progression in that, what is it for?
It goes to what I would say. If the woman is the favor, because that's what the word of God is, that a wife, not a woman, it says a wife. When a man finds a wife, he finds favor.
Hold on, let me cut you off real quick and come right up. Wife is a characteristic. Just because you get married, you're a wife.
Correct, because you can still be a thot.
Facts. A wife has certain duties and a husband has certain duties. So, you have to fulfill those slots and roles to actually be a husband. And this another conversation we'll have later, but people need to understand what those roles are, a husband and a wife, before getting married, because what we're doing a lot is winging it. We get in with the barbershop talk. We get in these relationships and marriages, and it's like, well, I love him. All right, what else? I love him. What else? You know what I'm saying? Like we have to have more to it, and we have to know the roles to the husband and the wife.
Correct.
If not, you don't have to be married. You can be single your whole life. But if you're gonna choose to take that role, you have to look into what those roles are, the husband and the wife. What does that actually look like? So. But back to what you were saying.
What was I saying? Because I never forgot. Because you always play crackhead games. But what was I saying?
You were talking about the wife. You said y'all a favor.
If you're favor, then that means that when I come into your life, that I should add to you.
Right.
So that's why I say you don't need. If you're not adding to me, and if it's taking me that long to realize that, then that means your discernment is off. So if you're spending time with God. Look, it keeps talking about where you find those roles. You should go right on to the word of God. Don't even worry about it. Because I'm going to need you to be in Ephesians 5 man before you desire Proverbs 31 woman.
Equally yoked in a relationship, 100%.
Thanks, Nanny. Facts. It says soul ties are also the reason that people stay in relationships 100%. Longer than they should. Absolutely.
No, for sure. Even though real, true intimacy, one of your book, is intangible.
Correct.
The highest level of physical intimacy you can provide is sex. we do it too freely.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm going out subject, but we do it way too freely.
This is a good conversation. He's gonna come back.
Right, we're gonna come. But the thing that I want to say about that, people have to realize, like, sex is so powerful. You can create a whole nother human being.
Correct.
You can create a whole nother life through this action.
You can.
It ain't shit to be playing with.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
And I'm guilty of it. I've definitely played with, not purposely, but got them caught up into me through sexual, acts, and we have longevity of that, and that basically ends up ruining them and traumatizing them. Now that wasn't my intent, but that ended up happening, and I know I've caused women pain. But
let me know if you need coaching. Hit my DM for the coaching.
Yeah.
Help you through that, but purposeful pain. Help you that.
Intimacy.
It would help you that. But it's not just that person. See, this is the other thing. What were you looking for? See, I had a session yesterday, and one of the things that I shared in my session, coaching session, was, for me, I want to know, because I get the line of, I think 3 men have told me it's going to be their wife. At least 3. Okay. And then, sorry, that's just my character. They didn't know no better. They didn't know what they were signing up for.
Okay.
If they would have talked to somebody, they didn't know. But I wasn't. But the thing is, one of my biggest questions to people, especially to men, is, what have you been praying for? Right. See, what have you been praying for? Is like us being in Kroger, and I'm like, how can I help you? Because you're looking around and you don't know what an egg's at. How may I help you? What have you been praying for? Because I know what I carry. So based on what you tell me you've been praying for, that lets me know that you're a man that seeks God first. Because a woman, especially alpha female, we're not submitting to a man that don't submit to God first. We're not just not doing. I'm not doing it. So already know I'm not doing it. If you're not submitting to God first, then you're gonna struggle with me. But on top of that, I need to know that you're serious, that you really took time to think about what things that you desire, that you realize you need in order to progress and be the greatest version of yourself. If you haven't spent that time, then how do you know that I got what you need? You see what I'm saying? And then if I didn't know myself, I would think that I had it when the truth was I didn't. And then I won't have the capacity to hold what you're carrying. And then I'm going to keep you stagnant, because eventually you're going to want to elevate to a level that I can't go.
Right.
And then I have PTSD.
Right.
And then it starts to affect every relationship that comes afterwards. It begins to mess with the way I deal with people. Right. And I've suffered with that. And I'll say this, because y'all know I'm extremely transparent, and I'm working on vulnerability. I wrote the book, I'm working on it. Don't start. I will be vulnerable today, I believe. But I'll say this, sometimes you don't know what muscles need to be worked until you're forced to work them.
Right. Back against the wall.
And then you have to start looking at like trends, like, why do I feel this way? Why do I get so focused on, if you do certain things? And so for me, I had to start telling people, because I was one of those people. I grew up in a time when you just took it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just saw women just kind of take it. You don't really say much. He gonna act right. Keep praying for him. Mm-hmm. Just keep praying.
Right. You gotta be patient and allow him to come around.
Allow him to cut on you a little while longer, baby. Till you ain't got no edges to live.
I don't agree with that.
I definitely don't agree with that.
Not at this point in life. When you're younger, you think about those things, but the older you get, it's not worth it.
No,
because you're gonna waste time, and that you can never get back.
And who's to say that they ever wanted to change?
Right.
Who said they ever really wanted to change? Some people just want the use of you. They didn't really want you. They just want to use you. Jumping down on you. That's really all they wanted. And some people, hey mama, look at my mama, Patsy Johnson.
Hey mama.
Some people be signing up for, if you have the app, then you got the quote this week. About the appetite, and I dropped the series by Jerry Forrest, The Appetite, on the app, because it's an amazing series. And one of the things that he said that really stuck out to me, and I had to share the quote this week, was he said, some people will settle for a snack and make a covenant with junk food. And I told you earlier, I said, why is it that the junk food, all the stuff that's not good for you, is always at the front of the line? It's always right before you buy the chicken. And that's how the enemy does. He always gives you an impulse buy, and he be like, let me just try one. Let me just shoot my shot one time.
Right.
Let me see if you're going to fall one more time.
Right.
And most of us, if we're hungry, we will.
Right.
We will. And so that's why you're not supposed to grocery shop when you're hungry, because everything looks good. Everything I want everything. Your eyes get so big, and you begin to have stuff that really doesn't feed or fuel you. And then now your blood pressure up because you done ate them, you ate the fries, baby. You're about to have a heart attack in Walmart. Your diabetes and fled up. Yeah, you trying to get water now, but you got that Dr. Pepper, and they never have healthy snacks. Y'all notice that? It ain't never no healthy snacks at the checkout line.
Yeah,
ever.
No,
it's always candy, chips. Not even no baked chips neither.
Right.
They regular chips with all the cholesterol on it that you want, and that's what we do.
We got to change our temptations.
But see, when you change your temptation, that means you have to curb your appetite.
Facts. 100%.
And so that's a whole nother situation.
In order to change your temptations, you got to let the old things go. You know what I'm saying? You got to really detach from that and not be that same person. So when you're not that same person, those same things don't apply to you. You can never be tempted by something you don't want. Temptation is only something you want. Right. You know what I'm saying? So with them putting the candy and the chips at the front of the line, if you don't want it, you're not going to buy it. So once you actually get over the hump of those old temptations, then it's fine. When they put they put the bad chick in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing because you over that. Because
some just want to grab.
Yeah, like
stop grabbing, sir. Grabbing some foolery. And now your cholesterol is up because you're grabbing. I'm gonna grab my charger real quick. I gotta grab that, and that wasn't on the bad line. My charger on my laptop.
Oh, I know. I said, oh yeah, it's about to die.
I got it.
While she's getting that charge, I'll speak on like self accountability. We're in these traumatized situations because we subject ourselves to it. Ultimately, it's your fault, and I think a lot of people look at it as if you try to blame the other party that was involved. Well, they put me through this. Yeah, they did, but you saw it coming.
Correct.
You saw 1,000 red flags. You saw 1,000 things, but you chose due to whatever it kept connected. So ultimately, it's your issue and it's your fault that you're in that position. Happiness is on you. Whether it's I know I'm going to dive into another situation, whether it's a job, it's a relationship, whatever it may be, it's up to you to get out of that and get into something better. So I got a question for you. So I jotted this down.
All I have is strawberries at this point. We're going to pray for me.
No, I got you right here.
I need a refill.
Look, we brought you. Look. We talked about Chardonnay. Okay.
Is that Chardonnay too? Yeah. Okay. I'm getting better with this authentic wine stuff because I was teased about the fact that
I should drink is Moscato. You know how our women do. They just want sweet stuff.
Oh, that's a whole word. Ain't it? Ain't it? That's all most people want, and that's the number one issue right there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true though.
Can you make it through the crushing? That'll preach, mama. Drop me a scripture. I know you know one.
Okay, so I got a question. Do you think the right person at the wrong time is real?
Absolutely.
You think that's a real situation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think. Look at mama. Be sober and watch out for the enemy. That's right, mama. That's right. I knew you was got the scripture. Yeah, my mama know the Bible back and forward. I'm telling you, if you're grave next to her, you're gonna get in heaven. I think that
the right person at the wrong time.
Because
it's real. Okay.
I think that a lot of people have met the right person at the wrong time.
Okay.
It goes back to the thing that I say about managing. No man, I ain't never heard no man say, Lord, send me the weakest, dumbest woman you can find. In Jesus' name, amen. I just ain't never heard that.
Not pray for it, but I know dudes. That's another combo.
I mean, I ain't never heard a man pray. Maybe, because we pray for things that we don't feel ourselves we can get on our own. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never heard a man fasting for Jezebel.
Yeah,
Lord,
no,
just
for sure.
Throw off the pole, Jesus, right now. I ain't never heard that. But what I have heard is somebody praying for someone that has higher abilities or abilities that they wish that they had. But the issue is this. Sometimes what we are asking God for, we're not prepared for. Mm-hmm. And it's like I said in a session yesterday, the worst thing that can happen is, y'all remember when we had AR testing? I'm showing my age. When you had AR testing.
No, they still got it.
Okay, because my child still taking a test. And his tail don't have for read all the time. But, the worst thing you can do is, you always hear people saying stuff like, we just flip into chapters of life. And the worst thing you can do is flip the chapters, but never learn the lesson. Mm-hmm. And then when the AR test come at the end, you getting a 2 out of 5 because you forgot what chapter 1 said, what chapter 2 said, and you didn't learn the lesson. And so that's what happens when you meet the right person at the wrong time, is that you don't have the capability to manage it. Okay. To manage it. And so even for like myself, I always tell people, and I'm very proud of it, I'm an alpha female. I'm an extremely strong woman, but also a woman that knows how to submit at the right time. So don't play cricket games. Just so we know, I can do both. Okay. However, I'm a person that needs to be managed, not tamed. Mm-hmm. See, if you try to tame me like we at the zoo, I'm a clown you like we at the zoo. See how that go? That's not, we're not, because when you back a dog in a corner, it's gonna come out fighting. Mm-hmm. But if you learn how to be intimacy, and you learn how to understand my whys, and you learn how to merge with me instead of colliding into me, and not trying to water down the best versions of me, I will be the best version of myself for you. You see what I'm saying? But most men don't want to take the time to be intimate. And some women don't want to take the time to be intimate either. Some will hurry up and get you to pay their bills, child. Go have rent, and can you pay 50 on the light bill, and all this other stupid stuff. And so then we it's almost like we're discounting the good work that God did when he made you. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to discount the good work that God did when he made you. Right. At all. I want to enjoy all the fruit. I want all the good versions of you to come out, but a lot of times that requires work that most people don't want to do. So again, yes, you can. And I have met people, I have met some people, they're probably gonna see this live, like, yes, God, I remember you was a great person. But you was at the wrong time. You're right, and I'm coming back. But
I got a yes and no. I totally agree with everything you saying. I agree to that. Angela said, if that person is from God, although it may seem like the wrong time, God will present them again at the right time, delayed but not denied.
There you go.
And I agree with that too. But I also think that you have to really be considerate. If you've been through situations that aren't for you, right? Mm. And the situation presents itself that's for you, why would you fight that?
Is it the same person?
Same person. No, you can have two different people. You say you in a relationship is bad for you, right? Mm-hmm. And that doesn't work out, and then you got this person that's coming, and they have the characteristics that you need in a relationship. Why would you push that off? But what'll happen a lot of times in relationships, they'll go back to the traumatic situation.
Oh, the comfort.
Yeah.
The default setting.
They'll go back to the default in the traumatic situation and go through all of that again and risk losing the one that was right.
The best thing you never had.
You know what I'm saying? So if a person is showing you the characteristics of what you say you want, why do you fight against that? And a lot of people do that. Like,
that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people,
so good.
A lot of people fight against what they say they want. And honestly, a lot of people are attracted to trauma. And that's real.
Because people want to be healers. People want to be doctors and then go to school. Baby, can you go to school first? You want to be I'm trying to be a heart doctor. Sir, you ain't got out of 6th grade. Now, you need to, let's stop it. But the issue is, too, The reason that most people are attracted to traumatic people is because they're easily to be manipulated. Because a person that don't know that they broken, don't know that you playing with their time.
Right.
They don't realize it. And so then they sit there and they're in these relationships. And this is the thing. We think it's normal because grandma and them stayed 30 years, 50 years. Yeah, but he had 3 families all down the street. Like, they ain't know about that was normal.
That's another subject. That'll be like 2 more weeks. We'll talk about that.
That wasn't normal at all.
But
what I'm saying is when you plant the seed of brokenness, and we begin to fertilize it and feed it to other people, then all we're doing is repeating the cycle.
Right. Nobody's getting healed.
Because
they take that to the next relationship and the next person. It's gonna traumatize. It's gonna be a circular situation. It's gonna come full circle.
And when you don't walk in your confidence and your power, especially for women, because a lot of times women feel like, it's always more of us than it is of men.
By design.
And so don't start. That's the topic for today because I have to prepare my mind. Don't let you start. So, things be. I did my hair myself. My teams are haters. But I will say that by design, sometimes women feel like they have to. That's it, sis. Fear that is too good to be true. We'll talk about that today because I'm dealing with that situation.
Yeah.
But I do feel like for women, a lot of times we feel like we have to water ourselves down. And I've been in that situation where I've had someone tell me, "Don't water yourself down," and I didn't realize like you are successful and it's okay. Mm-hmm. People need to deal with that your resume is long.
Right.
It's not an arrogance. It's just that you're building something. Right. And when you're building something that's more important than you, are you trying to be flashy for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? That to a king is attractive. That's why Boaz was attracted to Ruth. Because Ruth was building something. She was doing her own thing. She ain't nowhere in them chapters of Ruth was she praying like, Lord, just let him come on, God. No, she wasn't. She was working. And so when women operate in the strength and power that God's given us, we can take the seed of a man and fruit tree. Because the truth is that women really hold more power than what we understand. The ability for a seed to grow is not based on the seed, but soil that it was planted in. So if you good soil, it's gonna grow. Right. And for kings, that's what you need to know. If you plant seed in a woman and all your seeds dying, that's toxic. Right. Wastebasket. Drop off at church, baby. Let the Lord use her. That's all you got. Stop. Because my thing is, I'm a woman, but I have a heart for men. Like I am like pro men a lot. I really, really am, because I feel like, especially our Black men, I feel like they're underserved. I feel like I feel like they go, they're starving for love. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like why they accept it from almost anybody that says, I love you. Mm. But they say it, but they don't show it in their actions. Because love is an action. Love is sacrifice. Right. And when you know the definition of it and you don't understand it, you will, you'll struggle with that. Yeah. You'll struggle with that.
100%.
Why do you think men struggle with? Why y'all can't? Y'all be asking for a strong woman. Y'all want a good woman. Then you get one. Then you're running.
No, I definitely agree.
I'm gonna
say this. I haven't experienced that for me personally.
But you're speaking for the men.
But just for the men or people in general, I think that it's a situation that we run from it because the fear that it's too good to be true. Mm-mm. And I think that when people are traumatized so long, they feel that that's the way it's supposed to go.
Correct.
And then once they get a situation that's quote unquote for them, it's like, nah, this can't be real. This is not how it's supposed to, like it's supposed to be this good. Like, why would you question it? But if this dude is providing for you, he's communicating with you, he's doing this thing in all categories of the relationship. Why would you question that? And why would you put that on the back burner? And a lot of times, me and them, you go back to the situation that was no good for you. Then you risk losing out on the situation that was good for you. Then now when that don't work from the past, like, oh, now the other person that moved on. You can't you lost out now. You know what I'm saying? So that happens especially a lot on men. Men miss out on a lot of good women because we operate in our lust. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's
you're operating appetite.
No, for sure.
Selling for a snack.
No,
You're still
sure,
hungry.
For sure.
Because God not gonna give crock pot blessings to microwave mindsets.
No, for sure.
Quote. Drop the quote.
Drop the quote.
That's a
Did you
quote.
grab the glass like that?
There's a quote for the people of God. Because that's so true. But you know what? Women do that too. We struggle with y'all like we do. Because see, men play too much. Y'all been to play for like a long, long time.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Y'all play.
It's almost a 50-50 thing now.
You think so?
Hell yeah. I'm about to cuss it. It's almost a 50-50 situation. Like when it comes to relationships, I've dealt with women who aren't this. You know, even if I'm putting it out on the table, I'm like, hey, well, look, this is what it is.
All right.
You know, this is what I did or whatever, you know, and then you get a lot of game plan in a woman's account because they don't want to look a certain way or they said they leave them alone, whatever. I'm gonna be honest. From my experiences, women play just as much games as men,
and we're better.
Yeah, most you know why y'all better? You know why y'all better?
Because we're strategic.
Y'all are strategic, and you know what about men? Men aren't very intuitive.
Oh, you're right.
We don't tap into our intuition and see that. I do that.
Y'all don't be praying.
No, that's real.
That's why.
Most just out here living. We just out here.
Y'all don't be praying.
We out here winging it.
Correct.
Not for sure. But for somebody like me, I'm very intuitive. Like I can tell with something off. I can sense and I can smell it. You know, so for me.
Oh, you have an anointing?
I got senses when it comes to
you have an anointing?
Senses when it comes to not for real. So
he always talk about my anointing, so I have to mess with him.
I'm very good at she's different though. She can see somebody. I know their first or last name and know where they're gonna be in 5 years. I can't do that. I can't do that. But for me, I can feel your energy. Like if I'm involved with a person, I feel your energy.
Correct.
And I can sense when things aren't right. I can sense there hasn't been a woman that's tried to get over on me that's been successful with it ever. Because I'm very in tune with myself and I'm very in tune with you. And so I know what's going on and what shouldn't be going on. So once things are off track, I figure it out.
So you practice intimacy?
Oh, well, 100%. Intangibles, 100%. I think that's super important in any facet of a relationship. So this is a quote for you guys. Think about the word relationship. The suffix of that is to relate. To be on one accord, whether you're building a business or a relationship, you have to relate. Right. You have to be one and the same for it to reach the highest height. Now you can be with somebody who's not on the same page as you, but is it gonna progress to the point that you want it to? No. So if I had a business with someone for 5 years and it never reached the peak that I needed it to, then I get with another business partner, and within that 1 year, it climbs to the high height. I'm gonna feel like I wasted my time.
Correct.
For that 5 years. Correct. So that same logic needs to apply to a relationship. People don't need to be into anything that's gonna hold them back. If you got a man that's not leading you, you got a man that's not providing for you in the way that he should, leave that alone. I don't care if you got a child with him or not. I don't care if you. I'm out. Hey, I'm telling you, you gonna waste. Longer people waste time in dysfunctional relationships for sure. Yes. In dysfunctional relationships, the more you hurt, the less it's gonna take you to climb out of that hurt and that trauma. So people have to really get with learning, you know, that they're worth.
And your kids see that. And when we talked about that earlier, your kids see that. And we can start speaking what we want to see. Because, you know, we live to say, oh, if a little boy is handsome, oh, he gonna break hearts.
Kyron Jamal.
He gonna break hearts.
Break them hearts, baby boy.
Really? Here we go. We gonna break hearts. But, you know, we joke about it instead of just saying he's handsome.
Right.
You know, or just saying she's pretty. She gonna daddy gonna have to get his gun Why? Who coming to the house? The popos? Like we speak things. We don't always think that words have power. But I tell you this much, I've never seen. Oh, how they talking to us?
A lot.
Scroll it down. Man, it's exit stage left. But words have power. Why are we breeding husbands?
Right.
Why? I have 2 sons, and I'm gonna tell you right now, my son's not selling for a thought. And I said it on camera, on Facebook. I need you to hold a memory. 20 years from now, their mama said, "I'm not selling for a thought." You know why? Queen, and their mother treats them like little prince now, and they're gonna be later. I always hashtag when you look at my words. I always say raising kings. Because I teach my sons to be respectful, but I'm also respectful to them. I also affirm my sons. I love on them. They know you that they are.
What it's like to have
absolutely
a woman around and what they should receive from a woman.
And they got a praying mama. So they know what it's like to have a woman that has true intimacy, that prays and covers you like never before. So if all you got is a little bit of something, my boy's not interested. Don't even worry about it. Because they've already been affirmed. They've already been taught to look for this type of woman. And so for me, when I came out of my PTSD and I want to I'm out, I still have moments where I'm like, I don't know, let me just run from him. I had a moment. But I will say this for me is that I worked hard to make sure that I was the woman worth praying for. So when I dropped the Ruth Lifestyle blog, it was about me becoming the woman worth praying for. In my season, when I was in the wilderness, I was not the woman worth praying for. You did not want to pray for me. I had a smart mouth. We could fight. Like I was mean. I was bitter. I was angry. I didn't know what I cared. I would not submit at all because I didn't trust you. And I wasn't forgiving. You know what I'm saying? With true forgiveness, biblically speaking, forgiveness. Right. People forgive, but they don't forget. And they bring it back up. Right. And so, for me, I didn't do those things. And so when I died, because I had to die to be this woman, I had to detox, let go of those relationships that couldn't go nowhere. Look, my mom, but she's talking about smart mouth. Yes, my mom petty. She know I'm not smart. But I had to be a woman worth praying for, and when you think about the way you're interacting and the way that you're treating other people, it's bad because people don't be praying for that. And I didn't think about it until I became that, that was praying for. So that's why, that's why you can ask questions like that, what you've been praying for, because I knew what I had to become. And then also I wanted my sons to have an outlook of what a great woman looked like. I didn't want to say, well, my mama never did this and this, so I didn't really know what a woman looked like. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. You got an amazing mama. You know what I'm saying? And a mother that has standards, that has great qualities, that, prays and does with you and deals with you. So you got that. You didn't have to settle.
For sure.
So I think that, and for men, our sons need great fathers. We need whole daddies, not thought daddies. We need good daddies. Thought daddies. You know what I'm saying?
But to get back on what you're saying, as far as like men want taught to be husbands, I think that's what you said.
Yeah, we're not raising husbands.
The same applies for the women.
Well, join the Ruth Lifestyle blog. We raising wives over there.
Majority of women are raised to be. I'm gonna say this in our community. The majority of our women are being raised to be independent women and not wives. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. We understand where it comes from. And that's another subject that we'll talk about later, of the actual stem of it. But the ultimate point of it is our women aren't raised to be wives. You don't know what that's like. You see your mom getting it on her own, and that's the way that it trickles a trickle effect.
Correct.
It's like, no, don't depend on no man. Don't depend on no man for nothing. Never, ever. Push him out over there.
Because my daddy said when you need people, they'll treat you like you need them.
Right.
And so then I can't need you, sir.
But see, you you can need the right person.
Correct.
That's the thing about
Correct. He didn't add
people are putting the need into the wrong people, and they fail them, and then they face with their trauma. So now it's like every dude after that, nah, I ain't trusting nothing no man say. I ain't trusting nothing no woman say. You know, so
correct.
It needs to be a situation where they're seeing more healthy relationships, rather that's if you're being with someone else. You know, and a lot of people want to stay with that person because it's my child's mother or father. But if that isn't the right situation, I want my son to grow up seeing love.
Right.
And that's with his mom being with someone else that he see the love. And me, I'm in a relationship. He see me with my woman. He see the love. Like, I would rather that any day than to me and her being dysfunction and he grow up like that. If we're not on the same page, it just is what it is. We ran our course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for me, I'd rather be in something that's going to be compatible. You know, and I'm going into a different spiel with that. But overall, like, our women aren't raised in the way that they should be due to their mother's experience.
A generational curse of brokenness.
Situation.
The generational curse of brokenness that could trickles down.
100%.
Trickles down.
It comes from generations, and then these women have daughters, and they instill that same thing their mother instilled to them because it didn't work out with their child's father or whatever the case, and it's a trauma effect. It's a trauma effect.
It is, and it's extremely traumatic. You know, the other day I was sitting there thinking, and I don't know, I wanted to post, but then I don't know, I just didn't. But I wanted to know, like, do you ever think about just being good to somebody? You know, I'm at a season where I'm like, God, I can't wait to be good to someone, you know, good to the person that you have designed me for, because I was so bad the first time that I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna act right this time. I'm gonna act like I got sense this time, God. Last time I had no sense. I was half crazy. Lucretia said, children will listen to your good advice and follow your bad example. Exactly. I heard someone say, and I don't remember who it was, but he said that we when we are born, we look like our parents, but when we age, we look like our decisions.
Yeah, nah, that's super real. I like that.
I listen to sermons all day. That's all I do. But that was real because we do. You know, when people get old, they just you can tell who had a rough life. Them decisions.
Right.
At first, you look like your daddy, baby. Now you just looking like your great granddaddy, and you're 35.
Nah, for real.
Because the decisions that you made. And it's like, for me, you know, I spend a lot of time talking to men and women and even couples. And, you know, I'm extremely, even though I'm divorced, I am extremely pro marriage. I believe in it. I love it. I love love. Maybe it's the Pisces in me. I love love. And so I love seeing healthy environments, and I love seeing healthy relationships. But the issue is that in our culture, there's not that many to choose from. Like, I literally was coaching yesterday, and we were talking about her definition of love. And I said, what does that look like to you? Where have you seen it? Like, what is your I said, what is your favorite love movie?
Love Jones is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
So we had to talk about that. But yes, so I was like, you had no favorite love movie in life? Nothing? And I like, what you watching? Like, how you not see it? And the argument was I hadn't seen it. I haven't seen it. And so a lot of that has to do with our choices. But when we go into relationships whole, we're not looking for a half.
Right.
See, I'm not looking for a half.
Right. You're looking for another whole.
I'm looking for another whole.
That's the best relationship to be in.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct, because it complements where we're headed. And so, you know, those are the things that, you know, really cultivate a good community. You know, because when our kids come from healthy homes that have love, that have structure, organization, you know, they're taught how to disagree healthy, not argue.
Right.
I don't believe in arguing. I believe in healthy disagreements. I don't think we always have to agree. There's things that you say, I'll be like, I don't agree with that.
But we agree for the most part.
But we do agree for the most part. About 99%. It's probably like a 1%, or like 9.5 that we don't. But that, you know, 0.5% that we don't agree on something. But even then, like, it's okay to be to just like not agree healthily.
No, for sure. I want to touch on something. How long we got?
You good?
Okay.
Facebook is good.
Oh, okay. I want to touch on something definitely before we get out of here. Ladies, especially, stay out of situationships. that's gonna heavily cause your trauma to go.
Now that
through the
is
roof.
right. Yeah.
And that gray area is so smoky.
Told you I couldn't operate in it.
Like, and you talking to a guy, I'm talking about I was a genius at keeping a woman in the gray area. Keeping her right where I want her to where we don't progress where she wanted to go. You stay where I want it to be. And that's not the to be if you all on the same page, cool, but most of the time you're not. Most of the time you got another party that wants more. So especially on a woman end, you want to try to make the guy in by doing all these other things to try to make him be with you. And that don't work all the time. It's a high percent.
Time.
I ain't gonna say no time, and most of the time it doesn't. I've had women who tried to. No, it's definitely not healthy. But I've had women who tried to bait me in through other things to try to make me want them more or be with them more. But once I already got anything in my mind figured out where this is gonna be, I'm gonna keep it there. And as long as I treat you how you allow me to treat you.
That part.
So if you allow me to keep you in that gray area.
Look at Angie. It says speak.
You feel me, Angie? But
that's real.
If whatever you allow me to do, I'm gonna do it. If you allow me to keep you here and allow me to deal with other women, whatever the situation is pertaining to that, I'm gonna do it.
Correct.
You gave me that power. And when you come to me and say, where is this going? I'm gonna say, you already know where it's going. We talked about this a long time ago. I'm in the same spot I was in when we first got on this page.
So you just secretly kept stagnant? No,
for sure. I've kept women stagnant for years.
And see, for me, I'm opposite. If I come into your life, you feel it. You know it. And if I leave your life, you will feel it. And that is a difference. That is a very relevant difference. You will know it. You will feel it because at the end of the day, I know what I carry. I know that I come in your life, you're gonna be great.
Yeah.
Period. If I come into your life, you're gonna be great.
That's
whether it's a friendship, business.
Right. I think it's very important in any relationship. If any woman that I've dealt with have been able to take something away on a positive note.
Correct.
Especially women I've been in relationships with. You could take something very positive of what I've instilled and carry that on. This man a teacher. If you're not helping me evolve and become a better man, what you here for? And the same for a woman. Like, what you here for?
I think the IRS should allow me to write you off on my tax years loss. Personally, I did. Yeah. I put that on a quote that some people was so much of a loss. I should have wrote them off on my taxes. I know because I do itemize, but you know,
I do itemize,
and I feel like I should have wrote you off. Like, write you off, sir. How many hours I spent playing with you when you weren't going nowhere? You know, when I didn't know what I carried, I didn't understand why you manipulated so much. But then when I got that revelation, that's when I detoxed. And, you know, I'm gonna bless God for my detox because, you know, I detoxed. I had to throw the whole life away because women are we're just as cunning, especially when we know. Like, women know. Soil knows what it got. You know what I'm saying? It knows what it's got. And so, you know, one of the things that we know is a lot of times a woman can try to believe in you so much that you have to be wearing us hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were trying to believe, like, we believe, you know, like when you in the football game, like, we believe Tigers, and then they get out there and they over the freaking ball, and you like, sir, I was really believing with you, you know. But then sometimes for women, and women, I'll get on us. Sometimes, you know, I remember saying, and I was back in college when I said this. I never forget one of my roommates, because I always had a flip mouth. Sometimes you'll pray that a man will never leave, but the other days you'll pray that he will leave and he gonna never leave. Like, I never want to be at a state in my life where I pray so much that you didn't leave, when I needed you to leave.
You know where you messed up with that prayer? Why you putting it in his control?
I told God.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Leave, God.
If you know the situation, isn't right for you,
that's real.
Why you stay in it? Whether male, female,
correct.
Why stay in it?
Why?
And I've been a victim of that myself. It's
Me
like,
too.
and this situation really isn't right for me due to different attachments and connections.
And that's when that soul tie comes. See, when you went back and said about like, because the sex was good. See, that's what had got what had got me was, you know, the grimes in me had rolled up.
You gotta drink
when the grimes in me shows up.
Grimes is a make last name.
Don't play cracker games on here, sir.
So you know what she mean by the Grimes.
You know, yes, that Laura Nicole Grimes Jackson. That's my whole name. But you know, when the Grimes in me shows up, you know, I play crackhead games, and even for women, like when women operate from a broken season, we play better games than men.
No, for
like
sure.
we, you know, I've been that person, sir. I will not speak to you. I could have just been with you, and I would act like I ain't never been. Dude, help you, man. How you doing? Okay, praise God. Don't be touching my phone.
Did you say praise God?
Yeah. Praise God. How you doing? You still good? All right, good. That's what I'm talking about. You know, look, because you're not about to just be rolling up on me. I'm extremely private. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to roll up on me at all. Period. That was how I rolled in that season. Mm-hmm. And when I decided, like, you know what, God, I'm really tired of feeling empty. I'm ready because I'm a person that loves to build. Now I don't want to build a man. You know, K. Michelle said you can't build a man, and I believe that, and I agree with her.
I agree with that.
I think
a man should definitely play his role. Like, it's something that should be pre-taught before. But I understand why it's not that way. But you need to find your way as a man before trying to be in a relationship, because their leadership is important, and you want this woman to trust you. If you're not putting out the right things that she needs, then what are you doing?
Talk about what you said about changing your appetite, like following, like the thing. What did you say? Your quote about your eyes or your something to your soul?
The eyes and ears are the windows to the soul.
Now that's a quote.
That's a quote.
That's his quote, not my quote.
The eyes and ears are the windows to the soul, simply because what you see and what you hear is what you absorb.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think about it like, and I'm going off subject, but just to give an example of what I mean, what we see is very influential.
Correct.
These days, what do we see? We get on social media, you see women twerking. You see women grinding on each other, and it's normalized. And it's like, oh, no, nothing's wrong with that. But if I graduated in 2004. If I would have said to my girlfriend at the time, hey, go dance on that girl, she would be like, boy, no. But these days, it's a socially accepted situation because of what the eyes see. And it's attractive because people accept it. What you listen to is hypnotizing. The music you listen to, you're going to portray that same thing if you listen to it enough.
I had to let Kevin Gates go.
But see,
and I'm a Kevin Gates fan.
If you feel that
let Kevin Gates go, I was going to
if you feel like it's controlling you, for sure. And it's hypnotizing. Like, people don't really understand how music or anything that you listen to that you absorbing, whether through your vision or through your hearing, is really affecting who you are as a person.
Correct.
And that's super real, and we take it lightly. Oh, it's just social media. So what? Okay, so that means that you can dress how you can put a thong on, and that's cool. And it's because of social media. Why is that accepted now when it wasn't accepted 10 years ago?
Correct.
You know, a man can pose in a picture with showing his, his genital area on social media. Why is it accepted now when it wasn't okay 10 years ago? You know what I'm saying?
Your picture.
So, so at the end of the day, like you have to realize that everything isn't acceptable.
One of the things Jerry Flowers said in his series, The Appetite, he said, if you really want to know what is interesting to a man, go and look at who he follows on social media.
Oh man,
I said
that's too real.
So if you've been near my inbox, I'm definitely looking at your followers because I need to see which.
And I'm gonna say this.
That was real.
I was the guy. When you talking to, I ain't no really nothing when it comes to relationships, women, none of that. I was the guy who followed women just because they're attractive. They twerking. Mm-hmm. I did that, but I recently, like a year and a half ago, I unfollowed all those type of women.
Yeah.
Simply because that's not good for me. Because all it does is it plays into me wanting to be with other women.
Come on.
So it's a maturity level that you gotta abstain to realize what you need to be putting in your spirit, what you need to be visualizing. That's not gonna help me with my relationship. Me following women who shaking their ass
for cash. Or no cash.
Yeah, whatever.
Did you drop your cash up when you shook your hand? I'm trying to.
So that's not gonna help the situation.
Correct. At
with
all.
Me trying to evolve and be a better man for what I have going on with my relationship. Like, why would I indulge in watching that when I know it's gonna feed the lower self of me? And this is another quote I can take. You're only as strong as your weakest self.
I tell that to my mortgage clients. When they want to know the rate, you are only as stronger as your weakest link. Whoever got the lowest middle score, that's the score we're going with. So if you don't want them on that, then they can't get on the application.
And I learned that even online. I'm a capitalist. Away Deuce Clubs out with Chapter Rock Club here. Shout out to Drake Dunn. But we learned that online. You only as strong as the weakest person on your link. You know what I'm saying? Real. So that applies to categories of every relationship, you know what I'm saying, and what you're trying to be in life. You know, you got to conquer your lower self in order to be the best you. And this is another thing you guys can take. If you want to be the best wife, husband, person, businessman, whatever your category of work is, you have to be in tune with yourself, and you have to be the best you. And the only way you can be the best you is by conquering your weakest self. You know, you have to evolve to be the better you, to be the best person in all those categories. So if you're not, how you gonna be the best mother? How you gonna be the best father?
And stop hanging around people who don't require you to be your best. No, that's the real hater.
No,
that's the real hater. The people that clap for your dysfunctions, they don't like you.
No, for sure.
Period. If they clapping when you up there looking a mess, they do not like you, sis. And they probably in your main box. I'm just telling you, it's happening. they like, baby, I ain't over here twerking. You know, they already know. They over there doing some scandalous business. Don't trust those people who are okay with you looking crazy. But I will say this, for PTSD of relationships, in the healing process, one of the things that you want to do when you give yourself permission to change, that's a coaching quote. When you give yourself permission to change, is that stop remembering the old ways of things. Like, that part of you has to die. Sometimes our memory is also the worst thing that could have ever happened to us because we live in it. We live back there. And when you forgive people or when you're going to move forward, you can't move forward and backwards at the same time. And so, you know, and this is me even preaching to myself, you know, is just being able to be vulnerable with people. Give people the best version of you that you have. You know what I'm saying? And be okay. Yeah, what version are you bringing? What
we don't like to be vulnerable just because it's a tough situation. Like we teach, even the mothers teach their sons to be strong. What you crying for?
Not let mine cry.
You a boy, you a man, or whatever the case. So like we teach our men from a young age to not be vulnerable,
to not use their emotions.
Right. And then that trickles on into their grown life. And then from that point, when they get in a relationship, they're not transparent, because vulnerability to them equals weakness.
And to me, the vulnerability is so attractive. Along with your prayer life. Right. That's also very attractive. But that is strength. Oh, look, Munson says some people will be acting like good kush when at the time of presentation they're less than regular. This kind come with unrealistic expectations, requesting of a man they don't require of themselves, demanding he on a level that themselves they are not on. Love to say that they don't have time nor want to build a bare man like she, her, yes, not a builder man type woman. The queen, they have the queen level of a queen, but their depth of basics of respect and intimacy is not there. And Rec, you have to release the old that you may have to. Right. Can't bring old things into a new place. And Munson and I have definitely would have taught us that as men. That's real talk, Munson. And Munson has been on my live before. He's amazing. That's a king. He's definitely a king in every aspect, and I salute him for sure. And I definitely think that that's one of the issues is that, you know, for me, one of the one of the best compliments I've gotten since I walked in my purpose is that I have the ability to make men feel safe to be transparent with me.
That's super heavy in relationships.
Super.
For men, if we don't have a woman that we can't be vulnerable with, she doesn't make us feel comfortable being vulnerable.
Correct.
Like that's a downfall situation. But for a woman, like the relationship I'm in now, like she's awesome in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like she lets me feel like I can express anything to her, and it's okay. Like
Correct.
I'm not. Most women aren't that way. Most women aren't that way.
Because we keep in tag. No joking. Because we keep in tag.
They make you feel like it's a weakness.
Because we need to know what to look for.
Right. But most people put off like it's a weakness, and most people take advantage of your weakness. So for men, we never like to show weak, and being vulnerable is a weakness of what we've been learned through the casualties of life. So it's just like, hey, your mama taught you, your daddy taught you, like don't be soft. Don't be soft. Don't cry. Soft. Like, nah, I teach my son, like, let's talk anything on your mind. Like, whatever you do, always come to me, because a relationship is way important than just being a parent. You have to be a parent and maintain a relationship at the same time, or that child won't come to you in a time of need. They're going to go to somewhere else, another source.
Streets.
And who has a better, right, and who has, the best interest at heart for that child other than that parent? You want the best for your children, so
you should.
Yeah, so you're going to want to instill the best in them in every level possible. So, but back to it, vulnerability is it's
a different level of intimacy. It's extremely sensual.
Shout out to Rashika Blaze.
Yes.
Shout out to her. She
Queen.
does awesome. Like she does awesome
Queen.
in that area. Like she makes me feel like I can tell anything. So in that regard, like that's super awesome. That's super awesome in the regard of and she's sitting right over here too.
Correct. Y'all can see her. She hot to Carol. We gonna put on. He's so petty. He's so petty. But that's real. And I think that for women, celebrate other queens. Like I live to celebrate a queen. Like live. And I'm one of those people that are very I have a lot of love to give. I love loving on people. I love love. I love seeing people operate at their best and highest self. And so, I think that for Black women, we don't get enough praise for being a man's safe place. Because, let me just pose the question. If home is where the heart is, why half of y'all struggling being at home during COVID? I'll wait.
Yeah.
If home is where the heart is, why are you struggling at home to be home? Because the heart is one of those things that can operate even when you brain dead.
That's true.
So
that's super true. Dang. That's real.
I'm just saying. So if home is where the heart is and you don't like being home, is the heart really there?
Right.
Where is your heart? And for women, it's important that we know the heart posture of our mate. And when we don't know that heart posture, we never really know how to be intimacy. Johnson said meant that they have the image of a queen, but not the capacity, the intellectual level of intimacy. Exactly. And yes, Lauren, we'll make sure you better. I do, because I love men, and I love seeing men be their greatest selves. But the thing that God has graced me with, blessed me with my anointing, is that I have that ability to balance it. Because I tell people I'm oily but slippery when wet. People trying to sign up for you, like, you can't sign up for me now. The covering, my covering. That space for covering it ain't for the weak of heart. You gotta be able to flow and grow with me, and I'm very quick. I create, I move, and it's like this all the time. I don't give you time to think about what you're gonna do. We gonna do it. And I'm like, this is it. And so, I'm gonna pray for the man that God asked me to cover me, because that's big shoes to fill. But I love being able to be there for men and support them emotionally, and to help them kind of see their way through, because I feel like they don't have the voice, So I appreciate that, and I appreciate that for either other men that I cover, and I'm extremely private about them. because of course I want to see their greatest self come to life.
Right.
And I just think that, these types of conversations are going to be, one that's going to outlast and really be able to help people heal from those old traumas. So leave that old bag over there. God's blessing, he said he give us exceeding and abundantly above all we could ask or think. So if he gave you that, then that meant that it feels too good to be true. Maybe it's God. Have you been talking to him?
Right, there you go. No,
maybe
real.
It's just God instead of you trying to discern. And don't tell it to your friends don't tell some broken friends your business, because they will add their own toxic view to things and make it really, really hard for you to hear and see God in that situation. And I thank God for my James 1 and 4 group. I literally, it's James 1 and 4. Go read the scripture. And it's literally 3 other women. I make the 4th one that support each other. The entire group is on one accord. We pray for each other. We cover one another very intimately. They know a lot of intimate details about me. So I always tell people I have the ability to make everybody feel like they're close when they're probably like way over there. Because you got to be able to know how to balance that. And women, be around good women. I love being around good women that support other women and that give you good feedback. Right. I challenge people all the time. I want to know why for everything. So if you ever done a coaching session with me, I'm going to ask you why. Just know. I want to know the why of you, because that's your posture.
Right.
And if the heart is the one thing that can continue to beat even when the brain is dead, that's a whole word. Don't settle for the head, queen. Don't settle for the head if the heart ain't alive, okay? Because you may have an issue. It could be an issue, it could be a disease coming your way. So don't settle for that. I don't want to see our men settling. So yeah. So that's my take on that. Women as well. Please, women, don't settle. Stop settling. Cross your ankles. So you can learn the man. I never ever thought that I would ever be celibate in my whole life. So prayerfully my mansion is waiting for God. But I am over 16 months in.
There you go.
And
give a round of applause for that.
Oh, thank you. Praise God. I don't know. Hopefully I got a lot of crowns. They'll take me out before
y'all clap on here.
But shut up. I hate you. So, but I did that because I needed to heal from toxic PTSD type situations in my life, and I needed to be able to hear and see God clearly. For me, it was becoming a point where I knew I could control you. I was good at it. The manipulation, I was amazing. It was amazing, and I felt, God, I'm not using my gift right. And when you don't do stuff right, God take your gift, and I didn't want Him to take my gift. So I had to get my life together. Right. And, and so for me, I decided to do that. And I got myself around James 1 and 4, a group of women that do the same thing. We all are on the same journey together. That's why I know it's power in the environment that we have. It's power in. Thank y'all for taking more people. Look, you say it ain't your head game, it's your head game. Correct, Munson. Help the people.
Hey, you want it, bro.
That's the people. Yes, he said beyond the container into content as well.
Man, he said a mouthful with that.
That's real.
I don't look. The mental is that's an all beefy. If you are in a whole nother space of a mental maturity, correct, that's what's gonna capture me. I mean, the physical, that's the initial, but you can't keep me with physical.
No.
Because
you're gonna get them dimples on your thighs when you're not, taking your collagen and working out.
Man, I don't care about nothing about how good a person, a woman looks. I don't care nothing about none of that. If you can't capture me mentally, we're not on the same page as a mental compatibility, then I can't deal with you. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Spoken from a king, queens. Take notes. Write that down. Can you speak to the king in him?
No, for sure.
Can you speak to the king in him? That's the most influential woman in a man's life, is a woman that speaks to his purpose. And when I understood that, I understood the power that I had. And so I used that to teach others, because that's important. And when we raise and support our kings, we have better homes, and we don't have a problem with the word submit, because submit is a two-way street. Men submit and women submit, and we all submit to God.
Right. There you go.
We all submit to God, or we should be. So look, I hope you you guys have, do you have anything closing remarks?
Yeah.
You have a benediction?
Benediction. Number one, hold before I forget. Let me shout out my aunt Lorraine Bedford.
Oh,
she's out of Georgia. She's originally from here. She released a about 2-3 years ago. It's called Party of One.
Your mom talked about it.
Yeah, It's called Party of One. It kind of teaches you how to live a single life. So make sure you guys go on Amazon and purchase that Party of One.
Yes, Party of One.
Lorraine Bedford is her name.
I'll be a Party of One all the time because you ain't about to see me with no anybody.
Yeah. And another thing, the main thing, the next topic, in my opinion, and we'll talk about it next week. I think it should be emotion override reality. So,
ooh, y'all see how he be coming with the topic?
That's the next topic.
I'm rubbing off on him.
Next week,
that's a good friend.
That's
what good friends look like, dude.
But from this conversation, I want to take. I want people to pay attention to the red flags.
What's the red flags? How you treated your mama? Because if you don't treat his mama good, I heard if you don't treat your mama good, don't sign up for him.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing. But the red flags are in his action. If he's telling you one thing and doing another, those are red flags.
And don't operate in the gray area. You coach me on that. I got coached. So this is my coach. That's what y'all don't know. I got coached about operating in the gray areas. Sure. But it was real though.
Yeah.
Make the person say whether it's male or female.
Male or female.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What's the intent? This? What's your intent?
Yeah, but as you keep yourself in that gray area, it's gonna be hard to get out into the emotion.
You stay foggy.
Oh man.
You stay foggy. And if you gray, don't give him your body. If we're not sure what
that's the ultimate gray.
Then don't give me your body. Like I don't want that.
It becomes a true gray area once they give that body. Because when it's a true gray area, I can keep you where I want you. So if we on a high level of intimacy, I can keep you where I want you. Like we having a conversation, I got less of a effect on your movement.
Correct.
But once we become intimate and we're consistently intimate, guess what? I can control the tempo.
Yeah.
I can keep you where I want you. You know what I'm saying? So for women,
he make said Antonio speak back.
Hey, Munson, salute, bro. For women and men, all parties involved, please make sure that you're aware of the red flags. And that's going to decrease the trauma that we experience. Stop giving people years of chances when they've shown you who they are. When a man or female, and I'm a guy who's done wrong. I'm a vet and all of that type of stuff.
And I'm a woman that has done wrong.
Right.
In the wilderness.
Right. So I ain't coming from no guy who over here speaking from like I'm some green dude. Like, no, I didn't done dang near everything. So at the end of the day, you guys need to pay attention to the red flags. Stop subjecting yourselves to people that's in relationships. Like, kill it.
Because if they in a relationship talking to you, my mama said the same way you got them, the same way you're going to lose them. That's what she said. I'm just telling you. And my mama know the Lord real well. She know real well. That's real. but that's so real. No. And people don't think about that. You know, I say this often. What a person is preparing to do in the off season is what they prepare to do on game day.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So if you gotta practice,
you gotta practice to be perfect.
Please practice. Please practice.
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Can you say that one more time?
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Facts.
So, you know, ultimately, that's kind of my end all on it. Is if you're in a relationship and you're wondering about it, if you've been wondering a while, my opinion is get out of that situation.
Yes. Today.
Because all you're gonna do is waste expense, and time is expensive. So
you can't write it off on your taxes.
You can't write it off yet. I mean, let's Trump or somebody change it. You can't write that off. You know. So
just annoyed.
Pay close attention to the flags, and if a person is giving you inconsistencies, consistent inconsistencies,
ooh,
then you need to cut that off.
You If you consistently don't respond to my text message, then I'm gonna block you. And look at God. See, because Antonio said, if you consistently inconsistent, then that's all it was.
That's a red flag.
You said it without saying it, because silence is a response.
That's a huge response.
Silence is a response.
If you're reaching out and the person isn't responding the way that you need to be, then
I'm sorry for the people that are giving PTSD too. I'm gonna shout out.
Me too. I apologize.
I apologize.
For
like Nita Baker apologize.
That I hurt. For real,
That's real talk. People need to hear the apologies. I know I didn't answer your message, and but God, and it's gonna work out. I believe it. I'm gonna believe that for you. So definitely that. And I was in with saying this: women, know your purpose, understand your soil, be soft, it's sensual, it is fun down here in the soil. The word of God says a soft word turns away wrath, and that a wise woman can either build a home with her mouth or tear it down.
Oh, that's 200% facts.
So your mouth game needs to be for more than yelling. Right. Okay, it needs to be more than yelling. But how about edifying your king? I enjoy affirming people, men and women, because women need affirmation just as men do.
You're right. Look,
I do.
Again, I
will
ain't bragging,
affirm.
but my lady does awesome.
Yes.
In that area. Like, she definitely uplifts me.
And men need that.
Have that. You have to have. That's for me. The 5 love languages.
Yes. Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation is my number one. It's my number one.
We can see that.
Like, if you're not speaking into me, like, it's gonna be hard to work.
Correct.
So.
Correct. And men need that. And women, don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable and open. 2021, the book will be coming out on vulnerability. I've written my journey. It's taken 2 years. I'm still working. I'm work in progress about my vulnerability.
Hey,
but
we got some stuff coming for y'all.
We do. Oh my goodness.
We got some stuff coming. Some things. Good. The ultimate goal is gonna be a lot of relationships who kind of own the possible downfall that's gonna uplift with the things that we got coming.
Or it may just fall apart. And sometimes falling apart is coming together.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with falling apart.
Right.
Falling apart sometimes is coming together, so don't be afraid to do that either. Yeah. But I'm super excited about this platform, super excited about you launching off into the deep, even though I kind of...
Yeah. Oh, and so look, I got my podcast coming. It's going to be centered more so around relationships, but whatever, it's going to be the topic. So that's ultimately, that's how we got kind of started with this.
Correct.
So shout out to Lauren. I'm basically going to be headlining her Purpose Kings on her app. So this is why we linked up to go ahead and launch that part of her app. Well, she has it already, but it's kind of catapulted to another level.
Yeah, I had to find a king.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that.
You can't be a peasant.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you was a peasant, sir, we couldn't. We just let you clean the app up.
But yeah, facts though, like, we
had to find a key.
But yeah, so I got my podcast coming in June, July, and I'm gonna be looking for women and men who I just want to know your outlook on relationships.
Yeah.
And how can we bring this disconnect to a reconnect, and that way we can have more success, less dysfunction.
Yes.
So.
And great, healthy conversations, relationships, communities, kids. Stop telling them boys they're gonna be heartbreakers. I'm gonna get the door because Miss Lauren doesn't get doors. I got 2 boys. They know that if I get a door, I'm gonna be allergic. We gotta go to quick care. I'm not getting doors. So can you raise your men right, please? Because I'm raising Ephesians 5 men. What y'all doing? That's all I'm trying to find out. What y'all raising? So that's what we're here for. Drop us comments. We're definitely going to read them after the live. Hit our inboxes. If there's something that bless you, share it. Please let us know. We want your feedback. This was for you guys. So every Sunday at 6:00 p.m. is going down. Antonio's going to keep us with the latest wine because he's a more connoisseur.
Yeah, next
you got to put extra respect on it. You got to do all.
Look, we go. I'm gonna teach y'all to be sommelier. We gonna smell it. We gonna tell what area of the world is coming from. You feel me? Sommelier.
Sommelier. Look at y'all learning something from a king. Y'all leave them peasant men alone. All they know is.
I told my aunt Lauren Lorraine Bedford White.
That's it.
I see you.
Yes. Hello, Miss Watts.
Hey, appreciate it, Munson. Appreciate it, bro.
Yes. So tag some men in this, because I'm gonna say it, and some men need to hear it. They need to be on the live, because I got them a man to support y'all.
Not sure.
Even I do be supporting y'all.
I'm gonna give it a real from every regard.
Yes, saw my eyes cross. I felt them crossing when he said.
Look, next week we'll probably be on some Cab or Marlo or something, but we want to educate you on the wine and on the relationship. He said
an acquired taste, because anybody. Well, we're gonna leave it with a word, because anybody can have a grape, but the best version of you is squeezed out, and when you're squeezed out into a juice, the authentic version of that juice.
That's that pea coming
the
out.
Authentic version
coming out.
It is authentic version of the juice, darling. Quit sugaring yourselves with fake sugars.
Right.
But those things add calories to your body.
No, for sure. And see that applies with that wine. I'm
telling you, the word of God never fails. So I'm trying to help y'all out with the word. So look, y'all need to get on something that don't have a lot of extra sugar in there, because sugar give you cavities, and you get a doctor bill.
There you go.
Okay, so just trying to let you know that's what it is.
Artificial sugar.
Artificial sugar. Ain't y'all tired of fake folk? Half of y'all got some of them in your inbox
going into another lane.
Let the fake
people
go.
Get over here, leave these people alone.
Let the fake people go. In Jesus' name in 2020. So look, we love you guys.
Thank you all.
What you said we talking about next week?
Emotions override reality.
What's the emotion?
Look, keep you in this.
There you go. That
Jodeci. They basically overriding what you need to be doing. So I think that'll be our next topic.
I'm excited.
Thank you guys for let's see. Oh my goodness, I love that movie with the black king that inspired to be Somalia. Yeah, Dion. Like, salute.
What movie was that?
It's on Netflix. I'll send it to you. It's called The Court. What's it called, baby?
Court.
Oh, Court.
Court.
Uncourt.
Uncourt. Okay, I'll send it to you on Netflix.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
It's basically about a guy who he was from the hood. His dad had like a barbecue shop, and he didn't want to run that business. He wanted to be a sommelier, and that taught him how to, basically know his wines from whatever different. It's only like 200 to 300 sommeliers in the entire world. So it's a very.
That sounds like somebody.
I don't know if we have any in Shreveport, but no, for sure. Like it's a big deal, and it's definitely a deep test to actually get that license. But yeah,
what's sommelier in the making? I'm speaking into existence.
There she go
in the atmosphere.
Let's see, ready for next Sunday. Shout out to Shaniqua Collins.
Thank you, Patsy.
Angela Day, Miss Helm. Yeah, I know Angie. Shout out to you. Thank you for everybody who tuned in.
Yes.
Next week we will be.
Thank y'all for sharing. We'll be back on Sunday at 6. Let us know what your wine is that you're drinking.
Yeah, let us know what y'all drinking.
What are y'all drinking? Hennessy? We don't know. We're gonna be praying for y'all.
Hennessy
White Hennessy, either one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm in a drink. Well, y'all, we love y'all. Have a great Sunday, and we will see you next week on purpose. Bye. Salute.